Hey, everyone, I'm Laura Thompson. Mom, you can't be serious right now. I hissed into the phone, pacing my kitchen. The counter was littered with baking tools, all forgotten as I tried to keep my temper in check. My twins were at school, Jack was at work, and I was supposed to be prepping for tomorrow's bakery orders. Not handling this bombshell. Laura, she's your sister. She just got divorced. Where else is she supposed to go? Mom's guilt-laden tone was maddeningly familiar. How about her own place? She's 35, not 15. We've already decided, Laura. Jessica will move in with you tomorrow, she said with a finality that made my stomach churn. You've got that big house, and family helps family. I glanced around our home, the home Jack and I had sacrificed for, one painstaking mortgage payment at a time. Did anyone even think to ask me, or Jack? Don't be selfish, Laura. You always were the difficult one. That night, over dinner, I broke the news to Jack. Babe, we need to talk. My hands were trembling as I set down my fork. What's wrong? He asked, his brow furrowing. My parents are forcing Jessica to move in with us. And Madison, too. Your sister Jessica, his voice sharpened. The one who borrowed your wedding dress and returned it with wine stains. The very same. The twins came bounding into the kitchen. Dad, can we have dessert? Not now, kids, Jack said, his tone unusually firm. Mom and I need to talk. Is it about Aunt Jessica? Emma, my daughter, frowned. She's mean to us. She called my drawing stupid last Christmas, Emma added, crossing her arms. Yeah, and she never remembers our names, Jake chimed in. The following week was a disaster. Jessica arrived with 12 suitcases and her perpetually sulking teenager, Madison. This room is kind of small, Jessica remarked, wrinkling her nose as she inspected the guest room. It's bigger than my room, Emma pointed out. Well, sweetie, Jessica said in that condescending tone that made my teeth grind, adults need more space than little kids. That night, I caught her rearranging my kitchen. The flow was all wrong, she explained, not bothering to look up. This is my kitchen, Jessica, I snapped. My business depends on knowing where everything is. Oh, please, she scoffed. It's just a little hobby bakery, not like you're running a real business. I bit my tongue, resisting the urge to scream. By the next day, she was criticizing my parenting, inviting her friends over without asking, and somehow convincing our parents that I was the villain. The last straw came when I noticed things disappearing. Toys, clothes, even household items were vanishing. At first, I thought the twins were misplacing things, until I overheard Madison on the phone. Mom's been selling stuff online again, she whispered. My stomach dropped. Where are the kids' new gaming consoles? I confronted Jessica, holding up the empty boxes I'd found under her bed. Oh, those old things? The kids barely use them, she replied dismissively. Besides, they spend too much time on screens anyway. You sold them? My voice cracked. Those were Christmas presents. Don't be so dramatic. I needed money for a job interview outfit. I'll replace them eventually. I pulled out my phone, showing her the listings I found online. And what about Emma's clothes? Jake's collector cards? Those weren't yours to sell. If you and Jack would loan me money like normal family members, I wouldn't have to. Then came the breaking point. Another alert pinged on my phone. $500 spent at Nordstrom. You synced my car on your laptop, didn't you? I demanded. Jessica shrugged. It must have been an accident. 4 times this week, accidentally. Madison shuffled into the room. Mom, Emma's crying because she can't find her dance costume. Jessica rolled her eyes. That tacky thing. I sold it. She can wear something else. I snapped. That's it. Get out. Already called Mom and Dad, Jessica said smugly, waving her phone. They said if you kick me out, they'll never speak to you again. Dad's pretty disappointed in your selfishness, by the way. That night, I overheard her in the backyard on the phone. Yeah, these idiots believe anything I tell them. Laura's totally having mental issues, and her husband, completely on my side. Give me another month and I'll have access to their accounts. Everything okay? My neighbor Sharon called over the fence, her expression a mix of curiosity and concern. I paused, startled. What do you mean? Well, your sister mentioned you've been struggling emotionally. We're all worried. I forced a smile, my hands trembling as I adjusted the hidden cameras Jack and I had installed earlier. He stood by, his face grim. Later that evening, I whispered to Jack, "She spent nearly $3,000 on my credit card, and the kids are terrified to leave their rooms unlocked." Emma cried herself to sleep last night. Jake appeared in the doorway, clutching his stuffed bear. "Mommy, Aunt Jessica told Madison to tell everyone at school that you're crazy." The final straw came the next morning. I opened my jewelry box to find my grandmother's vintage necklace, her most precious gift to me, gone. It was the one she'd made me promise to pass on to Emma someday. Looking for something. Jessica's voice was like nails on a chalkboard. She stood in the doorway, smirking. My heart pounded. "Where is it?" "Maybe if you were a better sister, things wouldn't go missing," she sneered. "What happened to you?" I asked, my voice shaking. "We used to be close." "Please," she scoffed. "You were always Mom and Dad's perfect little disappointment. Miss Independent, always showing me up with your perfect life, your hard work, your big house." "Some of us weren't born lucky." "Lucky," I said, my voice rising. "I built everything I have." "Well," she said, her smirk widening, "now you can share it. Or I'll make sure everyone, including Mom and Dad, hears about your mental breakdowns." "Who do you think they'll believe? Perfect Jessica or unstable Laura?" She sauntered off, leaving me gripping an empty jewelry box and years of pent-up rage. But she hadn't noticed the blinking camera in the corner, recording every word. That night, as I needed dough to calm my nerves, my phone buzzed. "Laura Thompson," a deep voice asked. "Yes, who is this?" "This is Robert Clean, Jessica's husband." "Well, not ex-husband, despite what she's told you." I froze, my hands covered in flour. "What do you mean?" "Your sister isn't divorced. She ran off after stealing $50,000 from my company and maxing out our credit cards. I've been searching for her for months. She's been selling my kids' things." I whispered, my blood running cold. "She's using my cards too." "Classic Jessica," Robert said bitterly. "She did the same to 3 other families. There are warrants out for her in Nevada." Just then, a notification popped up on my phone. Security footage from the bakery. There was Jessica, at 3 a.m., photographing my equipment and making calls. "I'll send you everything I have on her," Robert said. "You're not crazy, Laura. She's done this before." The next morning, Jessica cornered me in the kitchen. "Your precious mixer would fetch a good price," she said casually, trailing her fingers over the stainless steel. "Shame if something happened to it." "Touch my business equipment," I said through gritted teeth. And what? Call the cops?" She interrupted with a laugh. "Who'll believe you? Madison's already told her counselor you're erratic. One more push and Jack might just take the kids." My phone buzzed again. It was Mom. "Laura, Jessica says you've been threatening her. We raised you better. Maybe you need professional help." I hung up, shaking, and called Robert back. "She's planning something big. I need your help." "I'm on my way," he said. "Keep her there 2 more days." That evening, during dinner, Madison broke. She burst into tears, sobbing uncontrollably. "I can't do this anymore," she cried. "Mom, tell them the truth about Dad." "Shut up, Madison," Jessica snapped, glaring daggers at her daughter. "Laura, control your niece." "No," Madison shouted. "Tell them, Mom. Tell them how you stole Dad's money, how you made me lie about the divorce." Jessica lunged for her daughter, but I stepped in between them. "Touch her," I said coldly, "and it's over." "You know what?" Jessica snarled. "I've had enough of your perfect family act. By next week, I'll own half this house. Already got Jack's signature on some documents while he was helping me. Pretty sure the bakery will be mine too. Unstable people can't run businesses." I smiled, ice cold. "Those papers Jack signed. Fake. We knew you'd try something." Jessica's face faltered. "You're lying." "The cameras," I said, holding up my phone. "They caught everything. Jessica, every threat, every theft, every plan. You've left a trail of destruction. But do you know what's most damning?" I leaned in, holding up my phone. "The footage of you bragging about your scams in Nevada." Her face turned ashen. "You're bluffing." "Dad," Madison's trembling voice cut through the tension. "I want to go home." We all turned as Robert stepped into the room, a police detective at his side. "No." Jessica stumbled backward, panic flashing across her face. "They're all lying. Laura's crazy. She's trying to ruin my life, just like she's always done." Like you ruined the lives of those other families? I shot back, holding up printed screenshots. Or should we discuss the outstanding warrants? Jessica's eyes darted around, desperate for an escape. You set me up, she hissed. You? You. No, Jessica. You did this to yourself, I said, my voice steady. Every single time you chose to hurt someone, to steal, to lie, to manipulate even your own daughter. Behind me, I heard my mother's shaky voice on the phone. Laura, we had no idea. Of course you didn't, I replied quietly, meeting her guilt-stricken silence. You never wanted to see it. As the police led Jessica away, Madison clung to me sobbing. I'm so sorry, Aunt Laura. She made me. I hugged her tightly. I know, sweetie, I know. Last I heard, Jessica was sentenced to 15 years for multiple fraud charges. She still writes to me sometimes, claiming she's changed. But those letters go straight to the shredder. Boss, my assistant poked her head into my office. You're trending again. Another family exposed financial abuse using your hidden camera trick. I smiled, thinking back to how that footage had saved everything. The timestamps proving Jessica's theft, the audio capturing her threats, the videos showing her selling stolen items. Perfect evidence for the prosecutors. Mom. Emma called from her table. Can I take self-defense classes with Madison? Already signed you up, honey. My phone buzzed with a text from Robert. He and Madison were having dinner tomorrow, working to rebuild their relationship. At least some good had come out of all this. Next month, I'll be speaking at a local women's shelter again. Turns out financial abuse within families is more common than anyone admits. But now I know the signs, the excuses, the guilt trips, the way toxic people turn everyone against you before dismantling your life piece by piece. Your 3 o'clock is here, Jack reminded me as another woman walked into my office. Another story of family theft and gaslighting. They find me now through the website, Surviving Family Fraud. Because that's the thing about toxic people, they never think they're wrong. But we don't have to let them win. So what would you do if your parents consistently chose your toxic sibling over you? Would you give them another chance as they're asking, or maintain strong boundaries, even if it means losing them forever? Share your thoughts in the comments, and remember, setting boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about breaking generational cycles of enabling toxic behavior. Your story might help someone else find their strength.